Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time. Ready for our leadership reading club. What is a leadership reading club versus a book club? It means you don't have to buy the book. I'm going to read out a section to you, and then we're going to discuss it live. How cool is that? The reason why I decided to do it is I taught leadership for a whopping 22 years now. And one of the key parts of leadership is walking that talk. And you need to, more than ever right now, build up that self-leadership confidence. So we are looking at Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles. Today we are episode 4, and we are talking about believing it is possible. So if you are here, please pop in the comment box that you're here, say hi. You may or may not see my kids crossing the background, but we're about to find out. So believe it's possible. The number one problem that keeps people from winning today is the lack of belief in themselves. There's never been a true word said, and we'll talk about that more in just a minute. Napoleon Hill once wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." And as cheesy as that sounds, the mind is such a powerful instrument. It can basically deliver pretty much anything that you want. You just have to believe that what you want is really possible. You get what you expect, according to this book. Scientists used to believe that humans responded to information flowing into the brain from the outside world. But today they're learning instead that we respond to what the brain, based on previous experience, expects to happen next. We're constantly looking for that. Hey, I want to predict what's happening next. Remember, in our brain, every 5 seconds says, am I safe? Am I in danger? Am I safe? Am I in danger? Every 5 seconds, even when you're asleep, which is why, have you ever driven somewhere and thought, how on earth have I got here? Your brain is still on high alert. Interesting, right? Doctors in Texas, for example, studying the effect of arthroscopic knee surgery, assigned patients with sore, worn-out knees to one of their 3 surgical procedures, scraping out the knee joint, washing out the joint, or doing nothing. During the nothing operation, doctors anesthetized the patient, made 3 incisions in the knee as if to insert their surgical instruments, and then pretended to operate. 2 years after surgery, patients who underwent the pretend surgery reported the same amount of relief from the pain and swelling as those who had received the actual treatments. Can you believe that? The brain expected the surgery to improve the knee, and so it did. Why does the brain work this way? Well, it's something called psychosomatic, right? If you believe it to be true, it becomes true. And neuropsychologists who study expectancy theory say it's because we spend our whole lives becoming conditioned. Through a lifetime's worth of events, our brain actually learns what to expect next, whether it's eventually happening that way or not. And because our brains expect something will happen a certain way, we often achieve exactly what we anticipate, which is why some people will say, don't catastrophize, you're actually going to manifest that happening. What you're manifesting is the feelings attached to that, and we don't want that if it's not a positive experience, of course. That's why it's so important to hold positive expectations in your mind. When you replace your old negative expectations with more positive ones, when you begin to believe that what you want is possible, your brain will actually take over the job of accomplishing that possibility for you. Better than that, your brain will actually expect to achieve that outcome if you believe it's strong enough. Now, you'll notice from a lot of my episodes, I have my arms covered. And the reason why is I've got tattoos. And one of them I'm going to show to you is I have believe written on my arm. And part of the reason why is there's a lot of things that I've achieved in my life that was a direct result of me believing them to be possible. One, I've walked on hot coals that were between 1100 and 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, and I didn't burn my feet. For example, there's so many more I could tell you about, but that's not what this is about today. I'm sure there's something massive in your life that maybe before you didn't believe was possible until you did it, right? Look at Thomas Edison with the light bulb. I think he tried something like 7,000 prototypes before he actually got to the light bulb. He believed it was going to happen, and he tried again, right? But you can actually master your brain into believing that to be true, being psychosomatic. It's interesting. Is another example here. Oh, I like this one. Tim Ferriss believed in himself. In fact, he believed so strongly in his abilities that he won a kickboxing title 6 weeks after being introduced to the sport. Can you believe that? As a prior All-American and judo team captain at Princeton, he'd always dreamed of winning a national title. He'd worked hard, he was good at his sport, but repeated injuries over multiple seasons had continually destroyed his dream, right? So when a call invited him one day to watch in the National Kickboxing Championships that were 6 weeks away, he decided he was going to join him in the competition, like you do. Just join you in the competition. If you've watched The Karate Kid, you know this to be true, right? If you haven't watched The Karate Kid, you have to go and watch it. It's a pretty awesome movie. And because he'd never been in any kind of striking competition before, he called USA Boxing and asked where the best trainers could be found. He traveled to a neighborhood in Trenton, New Jersey, to learn from boxing coaches who had trained gold medalists. And after 4 grueling hours a day in the ring, he put in more time conditioning to the weight room. And to make up for his lack of time in the sport, his trainers focused on exploiting his strengths instead of making up for his weaknesses. When the competition day at last arrived, Tim defeated 3 highly acclaimed opponents before making it to the finals. As he anticipated what he would have to do to win in the final match, he closed his eyes and he visualized defeating his opponent in the very first round. Later, Tim told me that the most people fail not because of the lack of skills or aptitude to reach their goal, but because they simply don't believe that they can reach it. Tim believed, and he won the game. He won the match. Can you believe that, right? Another quote for you. It's full of cheesy quotes, this book. It's great. You can be anything you want to be if only you believe with sufficient conviction and act in accordance with your faith, for whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Look at what we're doing today. Today is the March the 30th, 2020, right? The kind of things that we're able to achieve that we could never in a million years thought possible. Technology, like we're living in one of the best generations ever. Sooner or later, those who win are those who think they can. Right? Another cheesy quote. So true. It helps to have someone else believe in you first. Let's just address this, right? If you have a boss that believes that you can be successful in this project, if you have a leader who is in your community and believes that you have the power to lead others, guess what? If you believe it enough, you can. There's a great video. Email me, ella@ellabates.com, or if you're already subscribed to this, I'll send you. It's a great video. I'll give you the synopsis of, I don't want to now. It was a great video. I'm going to tell you about it. So it's a sports video, and it's this particular American football coach gets his football players to carry other football players on the back and takes them to a certain line. So, of course, they're looking towards the line. And they're, oh, gosh, we really hope we can get there. And they're struggling. And, of course, they kind of get to the line. Now, this one particular guy does not get to the line. He collapses with this other guy on his back that weighs quite a lot. So then the coach gets everyone to go back, gives them a pep talk, and he says, you can do anything you put your mind to. And he puts a blindfold on him, puts the same guy on his back, and he makes. Here's the really neat part about this. The guy, so he's got the coach is motivating him, he's down on the floor, he's like, you can do this, you've got this. It's such a great video. I'm going to send it to you. If you've subscribed, you'll get this already tomorrow. If not, you can email me, ella@ellabates.com. In fact, I'll put the link in this YouTube video too. And so he's talking to him, he's motivating him. The line comes and the guy goes over it. He keeps going because the coach is motivating. He's like, come on, you can do this. Anyway, it goes almost double the length. The coach takes the blindfold off and says, look, when you believe that you can, the only limits are the ones that you put on yourself. There are people in politics now that nobody thought in a million years. People in politics 4 years ago that we didn't think in a million years would be in politics, but they believe that they can with all of their might and their heart, and they did it. If they can do that, you can do anything you can achieve. There are people doing degrees in law at 70 years old and becoming lawyers. There is women who have stayed at home with their kids for 30 years and becoming nurses at the end. At the age of 15, 60 years old. You can do anything. If kids can go and play Roblox and Minecraft and earn some money from YouTube, so can you. That's right. My son's laughing at me. My son doesn't do that, but he plays both those games. But right, you can do anything if you really believe that it's possible. So you have to start with other people believing you. Get a mentor, maybe even get a coach. Find a peer to become your cheerleader. Look at your surrounding circle right now. Who is your cheerleader? Is it your manager? Is it your boss? Is it the CEO? Is it the VP? Is it one of your peers? Who are you motivating? Who are you allowing to believe in themselves? Who are you telling that it's, this is possible? I can help you get there. Let's find the tools. Let's get you the resources. Who are you helping as a leader? Because givers gain. The more people you help, the more people are going to want to help you. And if we lift each other up, this world's going to be an awesome place. Let me see what I wrote on my notes this morning. So one thing I want to talk to you about is the reticular activating system. What is that, Ella? I hear you cry. So as part of the central nervous system, there's a part of your brain where it is constantly scanning. So as I said to you before, your brain is constantly saying, am I safe? Am I in danger? Your brain's job is to keep you safe, the number one brain. Your brain's job is not to keep you happy. It's to keep you safe at all times, right? So it's looking for continuity. It's looking for patterns so it can try and predict, is this going to be safe? Is it not? Which is where biases come from and things like that. But you can use this to your advantage, meaning that when you believe something, or if you say something out loud, or you're training your brain through affirmations, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. Talk to your brain about affirmations, about what you want. Your brain's scan is going to constantly look for that thing too. I want you to do an experiment with this. Next time you go out in the car, and I hope it's just in the car, and we are social distancing right now, I want you to think about yellow cars, bright yellow car, not like a dirty mustard color, a bright yellow car. I want you to think about it really strongly. And as you go for a drive, I'm telling you now, you're going to see yellow cars everywhere because you have activated your reticular activating system, which is now scanning, is actively looking for you. This is how smart your brain is. It's constantly looking for the yellow car. The same is to be true of opportunities. So let's think of this as an example. Maybe you say, I want to speak more. This would be really awesome. I want to look for speaking opportunities. And you write down why you believe you're a great speaker. And then what your brain does, it goes, okay, so we're going to become a speaker. All right, then. Just constantly scanning. So as you're going through social media, all of a sudden you stop and you notice that, oh, there's a call out for podcasts. Guess. Interesting. And then all of a sudden, there's my little Jack in the background. All of a sudden, you see an advertisement for call for proposals for keynote speakers for a big event or a conference. What's happening is you're allowing yourself to consciously look for these things by activating the reticular activating system. And you do that by believing, by writing things down, by visualizing. I showed you guys the other day of my visual tasks that I'm doing right now. I'll show you again if you didn't see it. I have it here to the side. Right, things I'm doing. And thank you, JT Fox. I went to one of his events and all the things that I want to attempt and think about is on here, right? And I walk past it every single day. It's usually in my office. But I walk past it and go, oh, that's right. How am I creating an unforgettable experience today? Oh, that's right. Have I manipulated my jackpots, which is my micro learning, because I found a niche in the market, right? What are you doing? What do you have written down? I've got sticky notes all over my fridges with affirmations. What's an affirmation, I hear you say? An affirmation is something you've written down that you believe to already be true. So that could be, let's take, for example, that maybe you do want to be a public speaker and you write on sticky notes, any color, doesn't matter. Pick your favorite color, make it nice to look at. And you write on there, I have lots of value to speak about. I am a sought out. I am great on stage, whatever it is, all these things to be true, and then stick them everywhere. So if every time you're brushing your teeth and you see it in the mirror, you grab the milk out of the fridge, you see it on the milk box. You get the kitty food out and you see it there. My friend Lisa to attest, when she was here looking after my cats, I wrote sticky affirmations for her. But if you believe them to be true, you're going to activate this reticular activating system. So that's one. Let's see, what else did I write down? Oh, yeah. Did you know that your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality? I'm going to say that again. Did you know that your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality? Those who are watching live now, put in the comments. Did you already know this? Was this a fascinating fact for you? So let me help prove this to be true. Have you ever had a dream? And it was really, really far-fetched, but just a crazy dream or something crazy, or amazing even happens, and you wake up and you're flooded with all the emotions as if it's already happened to you, right? Your brain does not know that you didn't actively go for a run, running out of the way of somebody robbing your house or whatever it was, right? It doesn't know that. It doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. Yeah. Oh, you heard that statement today. Maybe that was from me or from somewhere else. But when we know this, we can trick our mind to believing it's already be true. I'm telling you now, a certain certain president from a country right now was looking in the mirror one day and going, you, sir, are going to be president of the United States. He believed it with all his heart. If he can do that, so can you. So if you want to be a doctor, Dr. Ella, I start calling myself Dr. Ella, my brain's going to believe I'm a doctor. So then it's going to look for opportunities to learn about medicine and medical facts, right? Like right now on social media, there's lots of people who are news hounds, they're news crazy. So all of a sudden, all this news is coming to them, and maybe they're doing some critical thinking and analyzing themselves. It's true. So because of that, you can trick your brain into believing it's already true. The obstacles are only as big as you think they are. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and catastrophize. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have the money. I can't do that. I don't have the time. I can't do that. I'm a single mum. I can't do that because of A, B, and C. Yes, Sarah, the mind is absolutely amazing. So I'm a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, which is, I'm sure some of you watching are likely as well. Take a look at that NLP, neuro, brain, linguistic, how you talk to it, programming is reprogramming. So if you're constantly saying, oh, I'm just a really accident-prone person, your brain's going to stop looking out for accidents. That's how it works. So your brain's going to go, yeah, just an accident-prone person. So yeah, you're just going to constantly get into accidents. Oh, tripped over a flagstone. Oh, tripped over this. Oh, did you fall over? Did you step on some Lego, right? If you're constantly like, I am strong and I believe that I am. This is how people can pick up cars. In the moment, they are like, I can pick up this car because I want to rescue this child. And they push up the car. You've seen it on YouTube. It happens because your brain believes it so much to be true that it actually comes to fruition. Isn't that something, hey? Last question for you. Believing it's possible. How many of you do sports or have done sports in the past? How many of you have been asked by your coach and taught by your coach a mixture of mindset, brain mindset, to the actual ability to the sport? Think about that for just a second, right? How many of you have been taught leadership, and part of that is about mindset, and part of it is the knowledge on how to lead people? Mindset being your emotional intelligence levels versus how many books have you read on leadership, right? Mindset is everything. Right now, if you're watching this live, you know that mindset is everything. If you sit there and you think you're going to get sick, you're going to think yourself sick. You're going to, I'll tickle my throat, right? And your brain's going to go, oh, you're sick. So it's going to flood yourself with hormones and chemicals to try and fix you when you don't need fixing. You've probably just been indoors all day. Get outside and get some fresh air, right? I'm not suggesting that if you're not sick to take it seriously, which I absolutely do suggest that you do take seriously right now and at any time. But what I'm saying is, if you believe you are healthy, if you believe it with all your heart, your brain's going to make choices to allow you to be healthy. Oh, let me have that apple as opposed to that big chocolate bar, right? I'm healthy. I make healthy choices. Your brain's going to be activated in the right places. So I invite you to take a look at this principle 4, believe it's possible. If you're signed up for the subscriptions to be reminded about these reading clubs, you're going to get the video tomorrow. I'll say a couple of other things about how the mind and mindset is everything. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading book club. We are approximately 54 seconds away from finishing. Are there any questions? Is there anything I can answer for you? If you're watching this as a replay, you can email me, ella@ellabates.com, or you can just reach out to me here on YouTube. I really appreciate you all joining me today. Thank you so much for the conversations. I know I've got some of them here on text as well as over here live on YouTube. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be looking at Principle 5. Your sneak preview is believing in yourself and looking at your attitudes, mindset, knowledge. We've already talked about it. It's going to be amazing. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys.